Alrighty, and it is my intentional parenting journey this morning. Thank you for joining me. Again, we're here live on my intentional parenting journey, sharing with you all of the things that you need to know about people working their intentional parenting journey. It's been amazing. It's been awesome. Let us see comments in the comment section if you can hear me. Our guest is in the studio, but I guess that she's trying to battle with her network to be able to come in. I am very optimistic because her husband is here. Hi, good day, sir. Oridedi Moses. I honor you, sir. Thank you for all you do and for being here. Thank you so much. I see you guys. Hey, others. If you're here, you can see me, you can hear me. Please put some fire emojis in the comment section. And yes, we are live for today's My Intentional Parenting Journey. We're going to be waiting as Sharon gets her groove back and then begins to come in here. But I want to see in the comment section if this My Intentional Parenting Journey has been a blessing for you. It has been for me, and it's something that I have really gained and learned a lot from. All right, because learning from people is my biggest, is my biggest, peeve. Many times when people come and they are, they are like, what is it I'm going to learn again? It should be we are learning from coach. No, it's not just that. Oh, there are a lot of things that you can learn from people that are not even, a coach or even people that, in their own insight. People have insight. Forget. Yesterday, I was live with Mr. Bayo. Omo, the insight from that session was something else. People are full of insight. I was live with Magistrate, Your Honor, Fifunwa Ikubayo. She's here, right in the comment section. Shout out to you, shout out to you, ma'am. Too much to learn from these people. The high and the mighty, whoever, they are all here, sharing their journey, and we're having so much, all right, to learn from. Hey, Dr. Happiness is Sweken. Thank you so much. All of you that are seeing what I'm wearing, stop seeing what I'm wearing. Focus. Dr. Celestina, I see you, ma'am. I see all of you. I see Toby Loba. And Sharon is having a bit of a technical hitch, and I'm sure that in no time she's going to be here. Now, my intentional parenting journey is the journey of parents who are intentionally walking their parenting journey. When it comes to parenting, one of the things that I say is either you're intentional or you go home. You go hard or you go home. That's what the intentional parenting journey is about. You go hard or you go home. And when I mean go hard, I mean being able to become that person that you have been called to be to your child. And yes, Sharon is in the building. I see you, Sharon. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for agreeing to do this with me. You know that I love you already. Thank you so much for honoring the time. And anytime that I see others coming at 8 o'clock, I feel like they are champions. Like, how do you, wake up 8 o'clock up and about, sharing your journey? It's not, the others are not easy, trust me. Now, we worked, Sharon and I think should have met like 2 years ago. And at the beginning, I'm going to allow Sharon tell the part of the story she's going to tell, or she wants to tell. All right, I've met Sharon severally. Sharon is also one of our distributors of our books in Lagos. All right, so and I've also been honored to also meet her husband. In fact, at our last meetup at the Inner Circle meetup, he was running around so much that, in fact, when I saw him, I felt like lying on the floor, literally. That's the way I felt. And saying, thank you, sir. And I'm saying, this is me lying on the floor, Mr. Moses. and saying thank you. May God honor you again and again. Sharon, so how did you meet the Intentional Parent Academy? Over to you.
All right, Coach Jim. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for this
Alrighty, I do
opportunity.
not know if anybody can hear.
Can you hear me?
Sharon, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear, but I don't know if you can hear
You can
me.
hear me, but we cannot hear you. Can you be
Oh,
sure
wow.
that your
Oh,
audio is connected? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I,
Okay, great. Okay, great. You're good now.
you can hear me
Please go
now?
ahead. Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. All I'm happy to be here and I will be opportunity, this golden opportunity to be here. The network here is really dealing with me, but I'm trusting God to be able to do all of this. The devil is a liar this morning because there's so much that we have to share, and nothing is going to stop it. Nothing is going to stop it. And before I go on to share about how I joined the inner circle, I just want to do something very quickly, and it's about someone that is very special to me. Some call her coach, others call her mentor, even VC. At Tuesday Live, she's known as the Mama Cathedral. Some even call her the parenting bishop. My Muslim friend was so wild and she called her Anabi Wendy. I have also heard that she's the liquid wisdom. Her husband calls her the Yellow Wife. A latest addition to her numerous names is the Woman King of Parenting. She's an enigma, a living legend, a light, archer, extraordinary, a true definition of Christ-like, a parenting maestro, the Indabowski of parenting. She is the one, the only, my coach and mentor, Wendy Ologi. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this opportunity. I think coach is out of the stream. I don't know if anyone can still hear me.
Yes, we can. It was me that went off.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. And anyone in the comment section, please, I'd like you to just help me celebrate this woman, this wonderful woman. She's all of that and more. And that's why I can't go on without saying something about her. So I joined Inner Circle while in 2021. And then I just got to, yeah, for me personally, I'm not the type that click on sponsored ads regularly or anything. But this sponsored ad has been coming up and I've been seeing intentional parents, intentional parents. I didn't know anything about that. So one of the days I just clicked on it and then I went through the page and everything there was just extraordinary. And from then on, it's been from one level to another. From that day on, it's been from one level to another because shortly after joining the um, after being able to see all of her page and everything, and I now went online and I got to information that there's going to be a program, a Lagos summit for the intentional parents in Lagos. That program we joined even before we I became in as I because before I joined Inner Circle. All right. So by the time I joined, I went for that program as well, and all of the speakers spoke, and I went there also with my husband. Most of these programs, I always attend with my husband, and then by the time I got there, it was everything for me, like from the beginning to the end, and that was where I locked it up, and I said, I just have to be here. There is no other place I'd rather be than to be here. So that's my journey from how I got to know about inner circle.
Amazing. And I think I missed some part of where Sharon was reading something and whatever it was. Thank you so much, Sharon. I celebrate you. Thank you so much. And thank you for all that you are. So this is how Sharon, met me, and then we met at this Lagos Summit. I remember. Then you joined the inner circle. Can you tell me what was your experience like at the inner circle? This is your second year in the inner circle. Your first year. What was your experience like?
Okay. My first year at the inner circle, it was quite tough. It was quite tough, and I'm not even going to joke to kid you about that, because I am on a journey, and my husband doesn't even agree with what I was going, what I wanted to go through, and so it was a difference. Two parents parenting a child or children, and then with two different understanding, and it was quite tough. But I thank God for the structure of inner circle, because with emotional intelligence, you get to know how to go about these things. And, you know, when I joined the inner circle, it was tough to the point where my husband had to call on coach one of the days. And then she was like, are you that woman that is directing my wife, that is making my wife not to listen to me, and all of that? It was really tough. I was begging him, please don't do this, don't do this. But he did it eventually. And I was wondering, oh my God, I was pleading and all that. So, because there were things that we were doing, and then I wanted to change. And because for me, I already saw something that I wanted. For me, when I got married and I started having children, there is a way I wanted to have. There's something I wanted about my children. I wanted extraordinary children. I wanted children who would stand out, who would be at the top of their game every day of their life, and all of that. But I didn't know how. And then I got in contact with the Intentional Parents Academy and with Coach Wendy. And I said, this is it for me. This is exactly what I need. And then there was no need for me to start dealing, darling, or to start thinking about, oh, should I do it or should I not do it? Once the instruction comes, I'm ready to fly. And so I'm not ready to start thinking about it and all that. And that's how I move with the children, with myself, with church, and with structures and everything. And so for my husband, it's like, what is all of this? Why are you changing everything that we are doing in the house? What's all this nonsense all about? So, and then when I go that far again, I have to come back and say, okay, please, this is it, this is it, this is it. So it was tough, because I have to teach the children and I have to teach my husband. Even though I try to bring him in and say, okay, listen to this, sweetheart, why not we do this? Why not we do this? It wasn't working. It was really, really tough. But in this second year, it's getting better. It's a lot more better now, because gradually we get to understand, because I have also been employing emotional intelligence. All of this I didn't have idea about when I joined the inner circle. There's something that Coach Wendy says, and she took that passage from Ecclesiastes 10 verse 15. The labor of the foolish wearieth them, because they do not know the way to the city. And that was me. That was my story. I don't know how to go about so many things. And most of these things that we are talking about, there are things that you look around, but because you are not intentional about it, you don't even know that what you're doing. Some of us are actually doing it, but because there is no intentionality to it, we don't even know that what we are doing is what we should do, and what we should even do more, and to even monitor the progress and how it's going. So it was a lot of battle, but after a while, 6 months down the line, as the days go by, as I continue in the journey, applying the principles on a daily basis. This is not something that you do and then you go and get tired and say, oh, I'm tired, I can't do this or that. It's on it. Even when we get tired, even when I get tired, or I'm overwhelmed by everything, I still pick myself up, I hear the voice of coach. I hear the Holy Spirit speaking to me and say, "Is this the extent you want to go, Sharon? Is that it? Is this where you are now?" So after all of those work, so this is where you end it. Before you know it, I pick myself up and I'm moving again, and that's how it's been for the first year of the inner circle.
Amazing. So, Sharon mentioned the story, an intriguing story of between me and her husband. I know, by the way, Mr. Moses, I hope I have permission to share this. Is the hailing in the comment section for me by by Mr. Moses, honestly. This is how we do it. See the hailing. The hailing is giving me some vibes. So one of those days, I saw myself in a group on Telegram. Me, one man, and Sharon. I was wondering, what the heck is this? What's happening? And then before I could say Jack Robinson, I had over 50 chats inside the
Oh my
group.
word.
Fire, fire. Ooh, is that what you're teaching my wife? My wife is not disrespectful. And as the thing went on and on and on and on, thank God for emotional intelligence. Somewhere
It's
in my mind, Sharon came to me and kept saying, "Coach, please, hey, coach, now, coach, don't mind, don't please." I said, "Don't worry, I got this. Now, man, it be, no be, now human being it be. Calm down." and you know, and that was how I started to speak to him. I just explained to him, "No, sir, this is not what. Apparently, Sharon is going about it the wrong way. This is what we can do, and all of that." And at the back, I called Sharon and I put her ear. You want to put me in trouble, Abby? You're going to go and call my name inside your house.
Oh my God, that pulling of hair was something for me. And you know what? For me, when coach is scolding me, it's like it's love for me. I don't see and whatever is coming from her is heaven for me. So whenever her scolding, her sweet words, her harsh word is like cold water to my soul anytime, any day. So when she just spoke to me at that instance, I just knew what to do and I knew how to go about it. And from then on, I can tell you it's been great because I mean it's my husband and I, we fall under that choleric kind of. So when you have two cholerics in the house, is a lot of work, and then it means that this person
Mm,
is a boss. This other person is also a boss in
mm,
some way, and then I
mm,
had to say,
mm,
okay, this is not how it's going to work for me. And then I started following the principles. I listened to what is being said, how we go about these things. When people mention things in the group and say, okay, this is what I'm going through, and and then the response, how coach says handle it. There was a time coach responded to when she said, see, there's no need for all the fighting. Just go and calm down. Everybody should just go and calm down. I said, okay, yes, this is it.
Thank you so much again for sharing that depth and that story. It's a story that I look forward to Sharon sharing it herself because when I see where she has gone, and then after all of that, the next thing I see that Mr. Moses is now my, in fact, when I see him now, I'm like, yes, that is it. Now my man, And the truth of the matter is that many of the times it's just because women do not know how to go about new knowledge. You get new knowledge, you get into your house and you tell the man, Coach Wendy said, that's how Coach Wendy is being hated now. That means in your house, they will just hate me. They will just say, who is even this person that is controlling my house? Who? So please don't make your husband hate me because in case your husband is not here. Do not do that. All right. There is a way to the city, like Sharon said. There's always a way to go about all of the things that is happening. In fact, when Mr. Moses was talking to me, he sounded like you're teaching this, you're teaching my wife to just become another person. I'm like, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir, no. Let's look at it, another way. And I'm so grateful, to this. And Sharon is one consistent person. If you're in group 1A, you will know that her consistency is an A game. There is no, some people are already saying it in the comment section. Her consistency is an A game. And then for those of you who are saying, I don't know how my husband will join me on this journey and all of that, Sharon is your plug. Trust me. This woman, when I gave her the Amigo
Well,
shaker, she was able to get it and run with it. So Sharon journals, Sharon is present, Sharon is, how do you do it? How were you able to, run this consistency game? How have you been able to put a lot of this structure in place? Because there's nobody in level 1A that will not know Sharon. It is impossible, totally impossible, because her journal is up to date to the later. It's not we journaled yesterday, we now got tired today, we have now stopped today. Sharon, what is that thing? How are you so present?
okay. For me, it's preparation meeting opportunity. That's what inner circle is for me. And from my year one, from the very first my first year in inner circle, I started making space. I started making space for what is it, because there are too many things that you are going to be exposed to, that you are going to learn. And then I started looking at my space. What are the things that I'm doing that are not inconsistent with my journey? What are the things that I don't need to be doing now? What are the things that are really affecting the fact that I'm able to move? First of all, how much speed do I have? What is my level when it comes to doing things? How am I able to? What is my capacity? I started from my capacity and then I begin to move from there. And then coach says something about expanding your capacity as you go on. And then that was it for me. And I started moving from there. In the inner circle, you have standards and you have things that structures that has been set for you. But for me, I have my own extra that I set for myself and say, okay, this is how I move it so that I'm able to meet up, so that I'm not just at that level where, you see, these things are what those A students do in school. And some of us that are not A students, we just look at them and say, okay, how are they even doing it? I didn't know about how to go about these things up until now, because it's a lot of exposure, a lot of learning in different level and different perspective for me. And then I look at it, how can I be consistent? In my first year, I was consistent, but it wasn't as much as I wanted it. I wanted it to be that on point where I am every moment, every day. I am at that point where I am able to say that I have read my book. I have listened to, I said to myself, okay, how do you want to do this inner circle program? The webinars, how do you want to ensure that you are catching up with it? How do you want to, you look into your space and decongest, look at it and say, okay, what is it that I don't need? Because this is what you need. You create space for it. And that was it for me. I created enough space such that I am able to do what I'm supposed to do. The other thing I did was the fact that I have structure. By the way of inner circle, you understand what structure is. Inner circle is a place of structure. I mean, it's a place of inestimable value. That's what I call it. It is a place of epignosis. That's what my pastor calls it. My pastor, the Reverend Biodun Fatoyinbo, says it is epignosis, higher knowledge. That's what inner circle is. When you come in, you will just understand. But when you come in, it's not just like things will fall on you. Oh, yes, even if you say it's falling on you, it falls on everybody equally. This grace has appeared unto all men. But how are you able to take this grace that has appeared to you? It's the same grace that has appeared unto all men. But what are you doing? Are you just going to be an onlooker? No, there is no space for onlooker in the inner circle. You come in and you start running. Because when you start seeing testimonies, when you start seeing people moving from one level to another, you're wondering, where are you at? Why is it that I'm not getting results? It's because you're not doing some things. You're not taking some things up on yourself and say, okay, how am I going to do this thing? What am I going to do? So that it's not that you're just sitting, this thing is too much. Oh, hey, webinar today, course tomorrow, this one, that. When you sit down and you complain, it doesn't take away what is coming. It doesn't take it away. It's still going to come. But when you now look at it and, Kai, there is something about Coach Wendy, is her perspective for me. She's never ever negative about anything. And for me, when the masterpiece program came on board, and then everybody is saying, oh, mentorship, me, she has been my mentor from the very beginning. She doesn't have to come and sit down and be mentoring me on a daily basis. This one, the masterpiece program, is just to make it official, as far as I'm concerned. So I learn, whether online or offline, I just follow everything that I get. Tool of the day is an instruction for me. Webinar is instruction for me. Voice note is instruction for me. Everything coming is an instruction. So when you come into inner circle, you take Coach Wendy as the prophet of your life, as the prophet of your parenting. So you don't come and you start complaining, oh, this webinar today, oh, hey, I've not even listened to it. I beg. Anyway, no, whenever you will do it. No, there's nothing like that. You come in and you come with your own strategy of how to execute and how to get these things done. And then when you do all of those things, then you look at it. How do I structure myself? How do I put things in place? Some of us have already cut our hair long time ago. That one is a tough one. It's not news, because I don't have a 3 hour, 2 hours, 1 hour set. I don't even have a 30 minutes to go and spend somewhere in the salon. That's a personal perspective. It's my personal decision. But these are what we do. Like, you will look at, when you look at, it's important to make your hair. Oh yes, it's important to make my hair. But how is that a prerequisite for getting me to where I want to be, as far as parenting is concerned, as far as getting the children to do what they are supposed to do, and getting the knowledge that I require to make me that person who I want to be. So it's all about the fact that you put structure to it. You are consistent with everything you need to do. Like me, I have reminder every time my phone is beeping. I have reminders for everything. So even though it's now in my subconscious of how I go about these things, for me, almost every day, in fact, it's not almost every day at 3 o'clock, I'm awake. I have now grown to that point where it's no longer a big deal for me. It's no longer a big deal. When I started it, it was, I wake up today, I'm not able to wake up tomorrow. But now it's no longer any big deal for me. I wake up on a daily basis, and because there's just so many things for me to do. Am I going to sit down there and be complaining, oh, I've not done this, I've not done that? But all of them have to be done. They just have to be done to get me to that point where I want to be. And that is how I have been able to stay consistent in getting things done, making sure that it is done in a timely manner, and there's just too much in there for me to do. And then if I don't begin to grow capacity on how I do these things, and then it's not going to get me the result I want.
Amazing. There's something that have been consistent with everybody who have been sharing their intentional parenting journey. And that one thing is that every single one of them do not believe in excuses. Excuses are tenable, like I say in the academy, but they don't produce results.
They don't give you results.
You can share all of the excuses. I just woke up, I broke my leg, is a tenable excuse. Oh, I just lost somebody, is a tenable excuse. But they do not produce results. And Sharon said something about capacity, and that was a hit for me. And let me share something with you guys. When we spend so much time, we actually spend so much time asking God for wisdom, asking Him for knowledge, but we forget to ask for capacity. You see, with wisdom and knowledge, so many opportunities and open doors, so many of it. However, you need capacity to be able to effectively harvest it, which is why when the widow of Zarephath was asking for access for things, one of the first things the prophet made her do was to build capacity. The prophet, first of all, told her, go and get empty containers. You need capacity to be able to take in whatever it is that you have. Let's talk about capacity a little bit more. And when we hear that we need capacity, our immediate reaction is always like, I need size, I need scale, All right, that's our immediate reaction. I need more. I need more things. That's what we think about capacity. But capacity doesn't necessarily mean size. Sometimes it means clearing your space. That's what Sharon has shared today. Sometimes capacity means, organizing folders. If you had a 100 gig drive, right, at 98% full capacity, and you need to give a 10 gig file, but you can't afford a larger drive, what would you do? The steps you take and decisions you make determine whether you have capacity to collect or not. So, would you prioritize deleting movies? Would you prioritize moving items from your desktop? Would you simply say, I have no space? I cannot receive you into my life. I cannot.
I cannot.
Let me look for someone that has space. I can you several options, but that's not the point. You need to ask God for capacity. Then you need wisdom and knowledge to discern how to organize. Capacity does not necessarily mean extra. Capacity sometimes means that you need to clear some space. Moral, stop stressing about being able to afford 1 gig terabyte. Use your 100 gig, whatever it is that you have, and begin to clear the space. Wisdom and knowledge are like seeds. They are the potential for growth, but they need right conditions in order to thrive. Capacity is like the soil. It's the foundation that allows the seed to grow and reach its full potential. Without capacity, even the wisest and the most knowledgeable person will eventually reach a limit. There will be, they will be able to grow and they will not be able to achieve their full potential. So growth is one thing. Building capacity is another conversation altogether. So your capacity might just mean that you need to clear your space. All these, all right. So sorry. I think my network was a bit off the hook this time. But can you hear me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear. All right. If you can hear me, Coach was just put out a little bit, and I'm sure she will try to come back in. And I would just want to take it up from there. One must be determined to grow. And inner circle is that place. You would have noticed that I'm not talking so much about children in this in what I'm sharing today. The parenting really starts from you. It starts from me. It starts from we the parents. Coach Wendy has made us to understand several times that parenting is about you, the parent. It's not really about what your child is doing or what your child is not doing. It's really about you. Welcome back, Coach. I was just trying to be an assistant for my coach while the network is messing itself up.
I'm telling you. All right. So many times, instead of sitting down, like Sharon said, vividly, instead of sitting down and just saying, hey, I don't know how, hey, the capacity you need, just like the widow of Zarephath, is to be able to go and get more containers. You are asking for wisdom and knowledge. God has given you, is available, but you do not have the container to contain it. And believe you me, you can have all the wisdom and knowledge, and then you will hit a limit. You will hit a limit. And this is what it is. All right. Thank you so much for, okay. So Mr. Moses said when the secret is there, Sharon has not shared. Is the cooler yet to open up? We are waiting for this secret to Oga Moses. This vibe in the comment section is giving. Who else is feeling Mr. Moses? Write in the comment section, please. All right.
Love you,
Thank you
darling.
so much. So Sharon, can you tell me how the inner circle has? I'm asking Sharon particularly, this question because maybe I have a little bit of insight. Sharon is one of those people that close to me. Of course, Mr. Moses now dragged me, and then of course now gave me, some. Thank you, sir. In fact, what you did well. You don't even know about it. All right. So Sharon, how has the inner circle impacted your life generally? Your marriage, your children, your business, and you can tell us a bit about your business. Oh, Sharon runs Gift on Point. That's the name of her business, and she's going to be sharing a bit about that. Please, over to you, Sharon.
Oh my God. This is major for me because let me start from my business. Business in the sense that before I joined Inner Circle, I started a business like about like 5 years ago. And 6 months down the line, this business, this Gift on Point that we now know, it was 5 years ago, and I couldn't go on. 6 months into the business, everything started nosediving because there were too many things that I haven't gotten to. There were too many learnings. In fact, I would say I wasn't ready for it. I haven't grown up to that point where I should be able to handle what I wanted, what I was wanted to go into. That's another aspect about me. I like when I see something I want to move, you know. But when I got into Inner Circle, I understand the fact that okay, you want to move, but you ask the right questions? You do you have the right tools? Do you know the right things? What are the things that you need to be able to move this up to get this thing going? And by the time I came into Inner Circle and I see structure, and that for me was one thing. I used the very first year of my Inner Circle, I used the whole of that entire 1 year to understand what structure is. Coach keep talking about structure. In my mind, all I was just thinking is, oh, routine. Okay, let's just do routine. Let's just make sure that the children have something they are doing, and make sure that you have is much more. There is a whole lot to it. And then in fact, what I got in Inner Circle, I caught it. I catch so many things that, and then I told coach, I said, see, Inner Circle has compressed 10 years journey, because if I was going the way I was going before Inner Circle, 10 years I wouldn't have gotten where I am today. And the things, the space I am, I didn't have relationship before. My husband is in the comments. I didn't have, he will say, you don't have friends, you don't have even your family, you hardly call them, you're just on your own. I just enjoy the fact that I'm just in my own space. I just like to be on my own, to do my own thing, my own way. No relationship. Even the ones I had growing up, everything is nowhere. And even communication, simple communication skill, I didn't have. My mouth was that short that when I open my mouth, it's like what I'm saying is thinking. I don't get the right words out. I just say things, and by the time I talk, everyone is annoyed. Like, what is she saying? I just get everybody upset when I talk. And then I go back into my shell, like, who even asked you to talk in the first place? But when I got into Inner Circle, I learned how to communicate. I learned how to have a good perspective to things, to happenings. So the way I am now with relationship is something else. One of the days I was going to work from my house, and I used boat, and it was just like a 20 minutes drive. And when I got to the office, the driver didn't want me to go down because he was enjoying the conversation. I can't remember exactly what we were discussing, but he enjoyed the conversation so much that he didn't want to collect money from me. I said, collect your money, okay, forget about that one. It's not the but the fact that I was able to impact another person. And how do you think I feel about that? How do you think I feel about that as compared to who I was, where I speak, and then everybody is like, what is she? Why do this girl doesn't even know how to talk?
Mm.
So it's a whole lot. If I begin to tell you a lot of things that has happened to me in less than 2 years, we won't leave here this stream today because there is just so much I can share. When it comes to parenting, there is peace around me. There is peace and understanding like never before. There is peace around me. I mean, like I now have relationship. I have friends, people, quality friends with values that I can beckon onto and say, sister, I beg, let's do this. And most of my friends I also grew up in inner circle, and then some of them outside inner circle. Those ones that are not in inner circle, I tell them that the prerequisite for us to continue to be friends is the fact that you have to be here, because if you are not in my tribe, there is no way we can connect. There is no way we can be talking on the same level. There's no way you can be having the same a mindset on ideas, on things that we bring on the table. And so when I come to when we listen to and that's the beauty of inner circle, because it's an accountability system whereby you can begin to build your circle from there. You can understand how to build circles. There was a webinar where coach taught us about it was the social roadmap for your
Yeah.
social roadmap for your Gen Z. That webinar teaches you on how you can build relationship and how your children too can understand. You can build a space where your children can have their friends from. And most of these circles that I'm telling you about, the relationships that I've built, even in the office where I worked, people begin to talk to me. Younger colleagues, they come to me. When they talk to me, I just give them one response, two response. They are glued to me. They keep coming back. They keep asking me, okay, about the last time. Even sometimes I don't even have enough time to respond to them anymore because I have too many things on my hands. So I have grown in terms of communication, in terms of relationship, parenting, like I was telling you. When it comes to being patient and being able to have emotional intelligence, how to handle children, oh my God, these children will really get you to that point. I mean, like, you are giving an instruction now, and right there while you are giving it, they are already doing the exact opposite of what you are asking them to do. So children will get you to that point. But I understand. One of the days now, coach, we were in church, and my son, then my first son, he was almost 8 years old. He was about 7 years plus. And then the church has not started. The real church, the church service hasn't started. But this was like the space where we have between workers meeting and then the main service. And then this auntie, she also have children as old as my own son. Oh. This person was in church. I was just playing with my son. I mean, like, this is me, Sharon. Oh, it's Sharon. Oh, that everybody know that they always ask me, say, "This your children? How do you train them?" There's a way these your boys are behaving that is different from other boys. There's a way they are so confident. People tell me that a lot in church, and then on this very faithful day, my son literally fought with this woman, a boy of just a little bit above 7 years old. He fought with this woman and pulled out her wig. How do you think I went about that, coach? And by the time I came, everywhere was in chaos. She was holding on to my son. He was boxing him. And what do you think now? When we go and be training our children to go and be doing taekwondo, what do you expect? And then I came in there. All I was just concerned is to help this woman calm down. Because at that time, when I got there and I saw that a whole lot of sin is happening here, I'm like, me, hey,
Mm,
my own child, that
mm,
everybody know us. We are examples. They keep pointing us. This same son, this same my son that everybody is saying, he's well behaved. There's a way he does his things. There's a way he behaves that is different from other boys. And then I'm like, oh my word. I just calmed down and I was just trying to make sure that this woman calmed down as much as possible. I was just trying to make sure that this woman calmed down, and then I just took her away from the scene. Then someone has already held on to my son and is cooling down somewhere. So I just tried to calm down and calm the woman down. I didn't even talk to the boy the whole of the service. After the service, nothing. I didn't have any encounter with him whatsoever, because I have an understanding that discipline is not a public affair.
mm,
So it's not there I will begin to say, hey, Max, or my son, you did this. How dare you? You, in fact. And I was also very thankful that my husband was not there at that time too. So I was able to manage the situation. I calmed the
mm,
woman down, and then we got back talking at home when I saw that my son was in a better space and he could analyze and tell me what happened. And then it was that there was a way the woman was playing with him. He collected a book from him and all that, and then it was looking like an attack to him, and he felt like, no, this is no longer friendship. I need to attack before this woman do something to me. Because, and I now told him that you are trying your skills out, you have been properly taught. I now we have an understanding. He was even the one explaining things to me. And then we go about it. And then we said, how do you want to go about this now? How do you
mm,
want to correct the mistakes that you have
mm,
already made here now? Because this is not my mistake. I'm not the one who
mhm,
is going to apologize to
mm,
this woman. Oh, he
mm,
said, no, Mom, I'm really sorry about this. I'm going to write an apology letter, and I'm going to ask her to collect my book and have it for as long as she wants till she's ready to release it to me. I'm really sorry for what I did. And then he wrote that letter, he brought it to me. He said, check, I want to be sure that this letter will get her to forgive me. And that
mm,
for me was on another level. Like he said, I want to make sure that this letter gets her to forgive me. And then I said to him, no, okay, do this, do that. I made some corrections, and then he went back. The next time he saw the woman in church, he prostrated and delivered that letter to him, and then apologized. I said, okay, yeah, we are getting somewhere. So,
mm,
as a parent, I understand better how to handle issues that come, how to handle issues that, as far as parenting is concerned, because this is, they are children. There are certain things that have not grown in their life as far as their brain is concerned. And because we have understood the fact that a lot of things that are not yet fully developed in the brain system of these children, and which is the reason why they do a lot of things that they do. So it is we who need to understand and teach them. If your child is still doing some things in some levels that you don't like it, it means that your child has not been fully trained. The training, there's still something that you need to do better, in a better way. You now look at it, you look at your structures, look at everything that you have put in perspective, and look at it. How else can I do this better? What can I do to make sure that things go well the way I'm supposed to do it? What have I not done? What is left? You look inward, look under every rock, and check what you need to do to get things done in the right way. So it's a whole lot of
wow,
testimonies that we have
wow.
as far as
Wow.
in
I,
our
I,
relationship.
I particularly, Mrs. Notch, I don't know if she's here. Mrs. Notch said something. She said, mantles are passed by men, oh, not God. Sharon, take your flowers. I was listening to this story and I was listening to where it was going. There's something that we say in the academy. Your child's mistake is not your shame. Don't carry
Mhm.
it. In fact,
Mhm.
Sharon
Nah.
just embodied that instruction and just
Mhm.
played it out. That
Yeah.
was all. In fact, who else felt like clapping and standing up? I did. All right. I felt like I'm in the office, so I don't want to. But the staff are all here. I'm sure they're saying, Coach, with drama. I felt like standing up and saying, now this is it. But you know what? You do not get here by error. You do
Mm-mm.
not get
Mm-mm.
here by diddling. You do
Ah.
by just saying, oh, it is hard. I do not know how it is that what you get here by a lot of work. I know what
Mm.
I'm saying. For the people who are able to have gotten to this point, is a lot of work that they've put in. And I love that Sharon's testimony is not from that of perfection. It is
Mm.
from that of work. It is from that of, about her. It wasn't about the child. It was, she's sharing a testimony about how she has grown. It's not about how the child has changed. It's
Mm.
about how she has grown and how she was able to understand to separate a child's mistake from who the child is. See, these things we teach are tangible, they are practicable, they are things you can do on a daily basis. If you're here in the inner circle, put some fire emojis. This woman deserves a lot of flowers. Get flowers, get fire emojis, stand up where you are, give some. That is exactly what we are talking about. And when we talk about what happens to you in the academy, this is the transformation. This is the
Mm.
real talk of transformation. These are the things that you embody. People look at you. Like I've shared so many stories about, when my children make mistakes in school and they call us and they feel that we are supposed to be jumping because I'm a coach. My husband is a married counselor. I'm a parent coach. We're supposed to be, we're out there. Nah, we've gotten to the point where we understand that discipline, like she said, is not an emergency. All right,
Mm-mm.
something to learn. You don't
Mm.
just say it. It doesn't just
Mm.
happen. All right,
Mm.
it does not just happen. This is the practicality of it. Reading it is one thing, but being able to practicalize it when it comes, this is real. This is real exam that Sharon took. There's no exam bigger than this. She
Yeah.
took full examination and she passed the test of that examination. Thank you again for sharing that profound story. Guys, should we close church? Sharon has come here. Sharon came with bazooka. If that is the only thing, if this story is the only thing heard from this session, please implement. But Sharon, before we even begin to go, can you share with us what was the most striking webinar? I know that every webinar, no, inner cycle parents will say every webinar leaves us to be going home. Somebody said, Coach, I thought the webinars would have died down by now. At the
Mm.
last webinar, I felt like that's the first time I'm hearing it. What is that webinar that got you, to the point that transformed you the most, if there's anything like that?
Wow. Wow. Just like you have said, there is no one webinar in the so anything you don't just a place where you see the topic and then it's like that whole movie where you see the topic and then you say, oh, I beg, I know what they are going to what the movie is all about until the end, and then you narrate the story and then actually when you watch it, that's how it is. It doesn't happen here. Oh. So, and that's how it is with webinars. I can't really say there's one webinar that is inferior to another. Every one of it. And the funny thing about it is that because there is a structure, you may have listened to this session before. Some of the sessions that we have listened to this year, I've listened to it last year, and it still didn't make it still made a very different meaning. Oh my God. When coach mentioned about the social roadmap for your Gen Z this year, it was about the story of the four friends, the roof tearing friends. It was on another level. That one made me to reprogram what I do with my friends and how I'm very intentional about everything we do in that space. So I don't have that one one webinar that is it for me, but I have like three of them that are really, really major. That anytime there is a constant reminder of something, it's peace as a skill. That webinar you took with Coach Dozier, oh my God, that webinar messed me up. And there was analysis that Coach Doze gave in that webinar. And he said that when you are, that the soldiers that are going for peacekeeping, they go with ammunition. Hey, that thing rumbled my tummy. And I was like, what is going on here? You want to go and do peacekeeping, but you are going with ammunition. Now, our own ammunition is not like we are going with, we have to go with guns and all that. But there is the ammunition of knowledge and things that you need from within you, that you need to equip yourself with to ensure that at any cost, you keep the space of peace around you in your home. Your home is a place of peace. That was, that was on another level for me. And then the next one was understanding the seasons of life. Hey, Coach Omolola finished me with that webinar. I don't know where you guys do, how you guys manage to put these things together, Coach. It was amazing. And then she talked about pattern. You see this pattern of me not always wanting to be in my own space. She described that thing about patterns, how that there are some things that you that are happening in your family that you are seeing. What are you doing about it? What are you going to do in what is it that you are doing right now that is going to make sure that that pattern you correct it? It doesn't happen in your life or even in your children. You are able to make sure that it stops at your own level. You are not going to pass on that pattern to the generation that is coming after you. In so many areas, she described that thing, and it was just something else for me. I noticed that for me, I always like to be in my own space, like I mentioned before. And I now saw that my son, my second son, is usually like that. And I have created structure, and I continue to create structure to make sure that this boy does not end up like me, because that thing dealt with me for a very long time. It dealt with me for a very long time. When you look at bullying, when you look at communication, there are so many, it just shortchanged me. And I look at it that no, I need to create a system. I need to create a structure whereby this boy does not end up like this. And that webinar just took that away and messed up all of that thing for me. And I said, no, I'm going to take this to a better standard. The third one I want to mention is dating and marriage plan. You see, I told you guys that I have a circle now. My son, my daughter cannot just go and bring one idiot that you want to come and marry. How now? Where from? Because there is a plan. And that's what inner circle does for you. You create structures. I created my own structure, and I begin to teach it. You teach it. Teaching is not that you just begin to do lecture after lecture. No, there are different means by which you teach these things intentionally, teaching moments, creating the relationships. So that webinar was another thing for me. After that webinar, I called my friends. I said, yeah, you should call everybody, come, oh, let us begin to talk about this thing. How do we go about it? Let us create our structure. Let's do. The way in my own inner Abi, how do I call it now? My own personal secretary. I say, Unganubia, you people should come. Let us discuss.
Yes,
did you hear that thing that coach said to us? Did you hear that webinar? Did you just see this?
No, she pleased down me.
No. She pleased down me for
Thank you so
there is
much.
nothing like that. We are intentionally creating these things such that we know what at every point in time. Like there was a time we were visiting, and then one of my son's friends said, "Oh, I have a phone," and then my son said, "I'm not using phone until I'm 18." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, because you don't have an understanding. He's not even bothered about the fact that you said, "Oh, I have a phone, I have a gadget." What's that? There's nothing you want to do with that. So we teach these things, and there is a way we do it, and that's why I'm here. It's 2 assignments that I'm here to do, and until that assignment is accomplished, everyone on this stream, You first of all, the assignment why I'm here is to share my story. The second of all is to ensure that if you are not in the inner circle and you have watched this stream or you're going to watch it later, you find your place. Because what we are doing is not just about parenting, it's much more than that. It's about saving the generation. I have already gone in the spirit realm. The Holy Spirit has shown me the assignment that has been placed upon this woman. And this is the only institution that is capable to deliver that for us in the world that we are in today. Every time when there is a story coming around me and all that, I see that inner circle is the only solution that I have seen around. I know that I haven't traveled that much, but this is the only institution that has been set apart by God himself to ensure that the unborn generation that is coming after us is saved. So you're waiting and looking and laughing and saying, what are they even saying? And this and that. You are not allowing this purpose of God to be established as soon as God wants it. So please and please, everyone, find your place, register, do everything you have to. And for me personally, I set standards for myself. And part of, I mentioned about growth a lot. And then one of the things that I use to measure my growth is, especially when it comes to relationship and communication, is how many people I'm able to bring to the inner circle. Last year I set a standard for myself that I'm going to bring at least 5 people. No, if I want to count now, I will tell you that I brought about 8 or 10 people into inner circle last year. And this year I have even a greater what do I call it now? A greater goal as far as that is concerned, that I've set for everyone coming in, because it's not just because of my parenting. It's not just because of my space. It's not just because of my own environment or my own children. It's a lot much more than that. It's life we are saving. This space where we are in is something that is beyond this woman herself. It's beyond her. It's a whole lot beyond her. And this revelation came to me. Or sometimes I'm just sitting down, and then even when you want to even say that you are hearing God, you are not hearing God clearly because your knowledge is not even allowing you to hear God. But when you come into this space, you see higher knowledge that opens you up. You are just, your mind is blown away. And then you begin to hear God more audibly. He speaks to you, and then you begin to hear that, yes, there is God in here. So this is a place where miracles happen without you being touched. This is a place where deliverance happens. Lives are saved. So this is a ministry that is not in church, but is saving the world, is saving souls. So I'm just here I'm just here to plead with every one of you. Allow my goal for coming here this morning to be accomplished. Run now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for another person. I'm not here to give you another story. My intention is not just to come and tell stories here. You need to be in here. If you are not here, whether you're single, you're married, wherever you think you are, this institution is for everyone. You want to get married, you don't want to get married, you need to be here. You need to come and have a full understanding of what you need to be and have an identity for yourself. Because a lot of us, we are just running kitty kitty kata kata. We don't even know where we are going. What are you running to? Where are you going to? You don't even know. We just wake up every morning. You want to go to work. You want to do this. No dream, no aspiration, nothing. You wake up to early morning. There's nothing. So I'm here this day, and I'm just here to tell every one of you, come into this days. It's not a time for you to start thinking. We have already think ahead of you. God has already given coach the thinking cap and capacity to think anything you want to think. One of the things that even surprised me is the fact is the way she does business. And that one, I took it, and I'm not supposed to share it with you people because it's my personal secret, but I'm going to share it. And it's the fact that for everything that she delivers, for everything that you are paying for, be rest assured that you are going to get times 20 value of what you paid. And I look at it, I say, how do I ensure that in my business, anything I'm doing, I make sure that anything anybody is paying me for, they are getting too much value for what they are paying. And so when we say mentorship, there's mentorship on different levels. So. Thank you very much, Coach, for this opportunity.
Amazing, amazing. At some point when Sharon was speaking, sometimes you'd even speak and you minister to people. I was ministered to, and I want to say thank you for uttering those words. And at some point, I had tears in my eyes, listening to her. I don't know about every other person listening here, and it was so obvious that when she said, this system is beyond the woman you're looking at, and it's so clear. It's not about me. I say it all the time. When you think, oh, it's Coach Wendy, oh, Coach Wendy had said, oh, Coach Wendy did, and all of that, please take me out of the equation. And when you meet me, I'm every other person. I'm like every other person. But God sends instruments. God uses people, and this is not just me saying, respectfully speaking. God has set people standards above people to be able to actually lead generations. And that's why in the times of Moses, God has, brought Moses to actually be able to lead, 3 million people, to be able to, lead people, not because Moses was not human, it was God, but God, put him in that space to actually be able to run. I am honored to be your coach, Sharon, to be your mentor. And I saw, something that Mr.
My
Moses
full chest.
in
I
the
say it
comment
anywhere
section,
and everywhere I go.
in the comment section, and I saw that somebody said the secret is that Sharon has moved to come and stay closer to you. That it's something that it's something that it's in-house gist. All right, thank you
It's in
again.
us, in us, in us.
Mr. Moses, Sharon, we would not be able to say a whole lot of it, but of course, you will know. Like Mrs. Notch said during her session, mantles are given by men, not by God. All right, mantles are given by men, and I can tell you for free. Some people get into the inner circle and they are able to actually see physical life miracles. Sometimes some things that are shared, I know that I have no place. As in, it's not me. I know that the Holy Spirit has gone ahead to be able to transform lives. I'm just a vessel, an instrument, and I recognize that categorically. And I see you, Edith. It was yesterday that Edith and I were still talking about this evangelism. She said, Coach, 100 people. I'm bringing all the people that I know into the inner circle. It's some inner circle parents will so fight. In fact, one of those, she screenshot what she was saying to someone. I said, it's easy. Don't fight like this now. She said, Coach, leave me. Leave me alone. And
It's enough to fight, though.
I am so honored to have all of you here moving and being ambassadors to the system. And because like Sharon said, this is not about one person, it's about the generation. It's just a seed that have been sown that is going to replicate. People are going to carry this thing and run. It's not after me. The Intentional Parent Academy is going to run for life. It has nothing. It's not me. I am just a forerunner, all right,
That's
to
right.
the whole system. I am only a forerunner. I'm not an end. All right, I'm not an end to the system. It's one of those systems that have grown, planted seed, and it's going to germinate. And really, really, it is something that have warmed my heart. And I am so. Somebody said, a friend asked me if I'm being paid by Coach. They were market TIP. That's how you ask people, and
Yes, that's how
people
they ask me too.
market, yes, people market TIP. Even me, sometimes I'm like, these people. Sometimes I heard Ebuka one day. I was driving and he was on a radio broadcast talking normally on a radio. He was invited to talk about parenting, and he was talking. The next thing I heard was, if you are not in the inner circle of the Intentional Parent Academy on a radio, program. When he was done, I called him. I said, "What is wrong with you?" We had a good laugh. And it's not, we don't have prayer conversations. We don't come and say, oh, this is how you need to talk to people and all of that. But it's what you see, all right? It is what you see that you get out there. But most important thing is we need to build a bigger system of the people who are able to influence our world positively. Because we have allowed evil to thrive for so long. And that's why you hear comments like, why do good people suffer? Why do righteous people suffer? Why do things happen to them? No, and I have said over and again, righteous people don't suffer. The people that are righteous, that are without skills, suffer. Because
That's right.
righteousness in itself is not a skill. So you can't be righteous and you have not built skills to be able to produce. Because I was saying in a class yesterday, there's the principle of Jesus, there's the person of Jesus. You can gain the person of Jesus without understanding the principle of Jesus, you will remain where you are. It is not magic. All right. And that's what we do, right? The inner circle is all round. When people come to ask me, what do you gain when you get into the inner circle? I find it difficult to explain. And that's why we started the
Hey.
personal parenting journey. I find it difficult. What do I stand to gain? What will I learn? I don't know where
No.
to explain to the people,
Hmm.
that this is what happens to you in the inner circle. I do not have the capacity to even explain it. And many of the times, I'm able to say, can you just trust whatever it is that have brought you to me to say you want to join the academy? Thank you again, Sharon. And thank you. Shout out to Mr. Moses. Mr. Moses was intimidating us in the comment section. Who else was intimidated? I was even seeing I love you, sweet. Please, where is the governor? Where are you? I was even seeing I love you, sweet. Oh, you are the woman. Oh, you are the this. I'm like, what is happening? What the hell is going on there? Like,
Oh
really? This
my
man
God.
is going to have pepper us. Oga Moses, you were peppered. Thank you so much. Thank you for peppering us. So, Sharon, well done. I am so, so blessed to have you right here. I'm so blessed to have you in my corner. And I'm even more blessed to know that you are right just beside my corner. You know, and
Yes, yes.
and like I always say, there's no coincidence in
There's
life.
an orchestration in the spirit. I told you.
In the spirit, and I agree with you. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to be, I will allow Sharon to talk about the last part. If you want to join the inner circle, what you need to do, and also share her last words. Over to you, Sharon, please.
Okay. Please, please, and please run in. Don't even wait about what you are going to gain. All of those questions, forget about it. You will get answers and more. You'll be tired of the too many answers that are available to you when you come. So there's just a lot of things that is awaiting you when you come in, and is a 1 year program that we run in the academy, and is there's too many resources in there. On a daily basis, we do our daily connection tools, and we record that in our journals. Journaling is very important to us in Inner Circle. And when you come in, you get access to webinars that are exclusively exclusive to only Inner Circle parents. You see that honor as a skill, you've been hearing it. And then you see it's such a system where everything is properly planned. You cannot come the first day and you say, hey, where is that honor as a skill they have been talking about? Oh, yeah, please, you should bring it from here. Iro. You wait for it, okay? Because there is a plan, there is a structure, and there is a system in place. So when you come in, just humble yourself. My advice, humble yourself, okay? This Coach Wendy, that is my madam, my oga, my boss. We are age mate, oh. She's March, I'm June, okay? But it's not about age. It's not about age. When you come, humble yourself. Don't start asking questions. When you are busy questioning, people are getting results. That's what I have noticed. When you are there, just being an onlooker, you can come in and then you're not doing anything. It will not still pay. You won't get anything from it. So when you come in and run, and just get in, take the instructions and move and move and move. That's the only way. And then my last word would be that if you are still thinking after all this my shouting that Inner Circle is not for you, you are gangan, meaning it is you gangan, the gangan, that this Inner Circle is for. So if you are still thinking that abeg, it's like it's for them, especially the daddies, our men, please come in. Oh, coach has said that the men in Inner Circle have a special place in heaven, that she has agreed with God. Do you want that special place, or you don't want? Please run in and come in. And I would also say that parenting is war. How you fight is how you finish.
So
Where you stop is where the next generation.
generation will start from.
Thank you very much.
Woo! What a way to end this session today. And really, thank you so much, Sharon of God. And Sharon, had, the puzzles. People have been asking me, oh, where do you, people in Lagos get puzzles from Sharon, get books and all of that. So that's part of what Gift on Point does. And she's also one of our distributors. But of course, Sharon is in Abuja now. Yes, that is the news. And so Abuja people are going to be, saying Sharon. But I want to specifically, loudly, publicly thank Sharon for being a true disciple, for being someone who would listen when I speak, and for helping me to also not look like that woman. By now, Mr. Moses would have been saying, that woman, never you talk to her again. Thank you so much for listening, for following, for actually doing. I love the practicality of your journey, and I love I love the all-roundness of what has happened in your life. I am grateful to God for your life, particularly. Of course, you know that I love you, I honor you and your husband. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for
Love you
being
so much, Coach. Thank you for this opportunity.
follow. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Sharon Oridedi has been here sharing her journey of being a yada. Sharon has done level one twice. Sharon is not even, she's not one of those people that is telling you, oh, coach, when is the next one? When is the next 2 months? They are here. These are the yada that say, coach, you know what, we are here. There's
We
all these
live here.
all
We
these
live
levels
here.
that
We
I'm
die
talking
here.
about.
We resurrect here.
All these levels that we're talking about, I do not, I don't even say. And I want to really specially thank Mr. Moses. Thank you so much for honoring me, for listening to me, even in the most difficult times where you had to listen to me. I am so, so honored to have you in my corner. Mr. Moses is one of those people that I know that I can call and say, Oga, in Lagos, please, I need you to do something for me. I know it. And he will really, be there. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support for the TIP Academy. I know it. I don't need to say it out here. There are men that when they stand, I go to sleep. And Mr. Moses is one of them. Thank you so much. I'm going to the office now. Well done, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody who've been here since morning. Thank you, Success. Thank you, Jenna Kene. Thank you, Bukola. Thank you, Dr. Celestina. Thank you. There are some yadas that are, yadas. They are not going in circles now. They are yadas. All right. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're catching replay, please do. These sessions they are brought to you by the Holy Spirit Himself to actually help you on your journey. Thank you, Sharon, and have a good day at work today. All
Thank you.
righty.
Love you so much and celebrate you, man.
All righty. And if there's anybody listening to us and you're wondering, how do you get into the inner circle to book a slot for 2024? The 2024 cohort starts on the 1st of December, 2023. All right. 2023 is the first of that's when it's starting. So 1st of December is our Christmas day. You heard Mr. Bayo talk about it yesterday and say at the induction, the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and that's how I ran. That session was renewing. Each of the session had something for me to take away. Today, I have taken away so much again because these sessions are so, so key, all right, to us. And thank you again for joining us every morning. Remember to join us again tomorrow, all right? All you need to do if you're not in the inner circle yet is to book a slot with 5,000 Naira and then pay your balance of 95,000 Naira if it's a single slot, or you can come in with you and your husband 170,000 Naira for a couple for the year. Trust me, what you pay, it will be like after 1 month, you're asking yourself, why do I want to, do this? Why do I want to just pay this, amount? I want to actually come and see what else I can do and what else I can pay. There are a lot of people in the inner circle who do that, all right? Names withheld. But this is just to tell you that value, all right? Value is, big. And I also want to say that for those who want to order my books in Lagos, so Mr. Moses is still in Lagos and he's still able to send out books, and he just wrote that in the comment section. Thank you again, Mr. Moses. The second, thank you so much to you guys. I see you guys. I love you guys. Edith Mejeha, I see you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. So you can also decide to just pay a full fee, straight 100,000, and just get ready. But get ready. The inner circle is a place of divinity. That I know. I'm not even mincing words, and I'm not afraid to say it to you. If you find yourself there and you don't see that, then come back to me and say, oh no, what you said is not true. Thank you, and see you tomorrow at 8. Sorry we took a bit of more time because our guests came in a bit later than the time that we were supposed to come in. Shout out to everybody. See you in the yard for yarders.